Okay, we are recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the June 3rd edition of SIG Service Catalog. It looks like we have some new faces here, so how about we go around the table and introduce ourselves. I'll start off. I'm Jonathan Burkhan. I work for IBM. Most of you pretty much already know me. I'm the remaining chair. I work on Service Catalog all day. That's what I do.
I can go next. My name's Sam Gunnar, and I work for Pivotal. I'm involved in the Open Service Broker working group, but hoping to get more involved in the Service Catalog project as well.
Yeah, and my name's Ed King. I work alongside Sam as well, also at Pivotal. Also hoping to get more involved in the Service Catalog project.
Okay, then I go next. My name is Florian Müller, working for SAP, chair of the Open Service Broker API, and yeah, just listening.
Okay, then time for me. Piotr Kopczynski, working in SAP. Yeah, I'm responsible for the service management in Kima project, which is based on Service Catalog. That's me.
Mateusz, do you want to go next?
Yeah, what? You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm also working on SAP together with Piotr Kopczynski, and mainly we are contributing to Service Catalog domain and also using that in our platform.
Hi, my name is Piotr Miśkiewicz. I'm working with Piotr Kopczynski and Mateusz Szostok with Kima and Service Catalog domain.
And then I think Ed King.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can now.
Great, hi.
I think you also work for Pivotal?
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, I work alongside Sam at Pivotal. Just hoping to also get a bit more involved in the Service Catalog project.
Okay, well, welcome. It's nice to have you all here, finally. So, usually how this works is we just go down the agenda. I tried to copy everybody off the attendee list, but I'm terrible with names. So if I misspelled your name or missed you, feel free to fill yourself in. I'm trying to remember what you have to do to get access to this doc. It's not publicly accessible. You have to join the Service Catalog Google group, which you should be able to find by Googling. But I think that's what you have to do in order to be able to edit this. And once you sign up for that, you're here forever. So really, it's a trick. Okay, so I'm just going to go down the list, and then we can feel free to talk about stuff later. So first step, 021. So like I told some of us at KubeCon, I broke the provision command in the CLI when we cut 020. So that's the major impetus. I want to get 021 out. There's a couple other things I want to merge first, so I'm hoping to get that done today. So just be wary. More organizational stuff, Piotr. Okay, so he's not here today, but when he applied for membership in Kubernetes Incubator and I told you guys to switch it to Kubernetes because we're moving the repository, he didn't. So he's now a member in Kubernetes Incubator, which is great, I suppose. He can be a maintainer for the rest of the week before the repository gets moved.
It will be the shortest membership ever.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's good. It's Piotr already know how to do that, and I think it should be same story with Kubernetes, right, Piotr?
So I will do the new issue with correct values, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
It's actually a bit more involved than this. So, and this will be good for Mateusz, I suppose. So now that you're a member in Kubernetes, the next step
Yep.
Let me see if I can remember where I did this. So the thing you actually want is membership in Kubernetes Incubator, which you should be able to submit a PR for now. Now that you're a member of Kubernetes, you should just be able to open up a PR like I did here and add yourself to this file.
Okay, no problem.
So this is what you actually want now that you're a member of Kubernetes.
And only there I should be added, right? And you already take care of adding that to the proper team under the service catalog.
I haven't added you to the team yet now. I got to open a PR. I'm going to do some cleaning as well, get rid of some of the people who no longer work on service catalog. But yeah, that's my next step. I got to do that. And then once that's done, I can submit another PR or request, I suppose, to actually move the repository. And then that should happen. But I'm expecting that to break everything. So I want to cut 0, 2, 1 before I move the repository, because I have a sneaking suspicion we're not going to be able to cut a release for a while. Yeah, so just a heads up. Sorry, I didn't give background on this for the new people. We're currently in the process of physically moving the repository from Kubernetes Incubator service catalog to Kubernetes SIG service catalog. So we're moving GitHub orgs, and like I said, I imagine this is going to break all of our testing infrastructure. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah. Xbuild test flakes. So I don't know if people have been paying attention, but at the end of last week, we were having hella flakes in our pipeline, specifically on the Xbuild thing, and I really couldn't figure out why. I don't know. Some of these are actual failures. People need to fix their tests. Let me see if I can find one that was. So I took a look into it, and it seemed like there was 2 instances or 2 things that were causing the test to fail. Some of them were it was just timing out, and like that's a flake, obviously, but I don't really know what we can do to fix that. And then some of them were, it looked like it was an actual error. It looks like it was some kind of type exec error on some executable somewhere in the pipeline. But like, unless we broke our make file and we haven't changed that make task in quite some time, I don't see how it could be our fault. Yeah, either you guys see this at all? Take a look into it. No?
No. And it's not a problem with the infrastructure, but this problem with the make file?
No, I'm saying it can't. I mean, I don't think it's a problem with the make file because we haven't changed the make file.
Okay.
So I imagine what happened is they probably changed something in the image that we used for this.
And basically, it's constantly failing because on my pull request, I will just retest that and it passed. So the question is, because in previous week there was also a lot of issues on the builds from the Kubernetes itself, right? Under the Kubernetes organization, I know they had some problems with the infrastructure, so maybe it's somehow connected.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. It's getting some exec format error when it tries to. What is it doing? It's trying to dpkg. It's trying to update stuff on the image itself. But like when I run this locally, it never fails. Like I haven't gotten it to fail locally at all, and I ran it a bunch of times. So like.
And is there some test grid for the service catalog to check if this particular job is constantly failing, or it's just a problem with the previous week only?
No, this was only the previous week.
Okay,
like,
so I think that it could be somehow connected also with the downtime on the infrastructure layer under the Kubernetes itself, because I know that they're just under the SIG testing channel, they just discussed something like that before releasing the new version of the Kubernetes 1.15. So maybe it's somehow connected. We can just try to retest that and observe that build if it's still failing or not.
Okay. I mean, I don't understand how they could have some sort of test infrastructure outage that would cause this to fail like this. Like, I mean, not run, sure. Maybe the timeout could be due to that, but I don't see how this exact format error could be due to that. But okay, we can. Yeah, see, I was running it and it was kept failing. We can kick this again and see if things are better this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that is it for stuff on the agenda. So we can go ahead and open the floor to the community if we have anything else we want to talk about.
Yeah, then maybe as we together created that milestone 0.3, right, during the KubeCon. And right now we will a bit wait for you, Jonathan, when you will migrate that to the Kubernetes 6, right, the project.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then we can maybe first help with that PRAW cleanup for the project, right?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to go into that and build out some of those milestones a bit more?
I guess maybe we can do that on the next meeting. Maybe
Okay.
we can also try to do the triage somehow across the tickets, because we saw that bot already start to do closing stuff about the tickets. But first, I think we need to clarify that thing with PRAW, and then we can focus on that custom resource definitions, right? As a first class citizen for that project. But first, we need to have a new structure, right? And that's the task will be on you, right, Jonathan?
I can never remember how to find this thing.
Yeah, it's here. Yeah, and as you see on the bottom, we have that cleanup CI/CD to not have that, Travis, Jenkins, PRAW references, but just have a PRAW.
So just for the edification of Sam and Ed and Florian, so right before KubeCon, we cut a major feature release 020, which was the GA of Frames-based resources. So this is 030, so this is the stuff we plan on doing in the future. Like I said, there's a lot of infrastructure work that has to happen before we get started on this. But the major thing is we're going to be transitioning to CRDs. The SAP Kima guys have already done most of the work for that. They have a branch up that already contains the code, but there's a lot of footwork, I guess, that we have to do before we can actually merge it, especially because we have to support API servers for 9 months past the release of CRDs. So that's the majority of what 030 is going to be, the infrastructure work to allow that to happen, and then finally merging the CRDs themselves.
So just to clarify, so 030 won't be like a toggleable feature between CRDs or the API aggregate server, but it will be all CRDs, and then the code as it was before would just be on a branch somewhere and then supported for the next 9 months. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when the CRDs will be in, there is that task, provide migration path for API server CRDs to support all customers that want to use the new approach and without losing data, let's say. And that's the story that will be the next one. Right, Jonathan?
Yep.
So the migration path needs to be there for 030 to be released.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then we also discussed a bit the cleanup for the pod preset stuff, because it's mentioned in the configuration of the service catalog, but it's not implemented. And we find out that it's maybe a way to do a cleanup for that story and really think what to do with pod presets then, where they should we land in this project or another one. We need to think, right?
Yeah, I already know that. I discussed that with the guys from the API machinery, and they told me that they don't want to support that inside the Kubernetes itself. So maybe we need to do that one more time, talk with them, and maybe move that under the Kubernetes 6 organization. And
Wait, you talked to, when did you talk to them?
On KubeCon.
And they still don't. Oh my god. Okay, so as a background, what are pod presets? So currently in Kubernetes Service Catalog, when you bind an instance, the outcome of that operation is a secret that's created in whatever namespace you're working in. It is not automatically injected into your running pod like it is in Cloud Foundry, where it's automatically added to your app's VCAP services. Pod preset is a feature we've been sort of bandying about a long time that would allow that to happen. The problem is it's not really accomplishable just from within Service Catalog. A new controller has to be created that we kind of have been hoping for a long time now would be part of mainline Kubernetes, because it's a controller that allows you to automatically inject any environment variable. It's not really specific to Service Catalog. But it sounds like they don't want it.
Yeah, and they told me that they want to use for that the imitation webhooks instead of the pod preset. But right, the pod preset is general solution, and maybe we can just one more time talk with them, just show them the end-to-end story about it, and maybe also discuss that with the SIG architecture and have the final decision what to do that.
They want to use a mutating webhook server?
Yeah, so for each your use case, you should write your own webhook to inject to modify the deployment, right? But
Or request an intercept.
Yeah, but I think that they just don't get the idea behind the pod preset, because it's just redundant if you will do that for each of your deployment, right? And if each of the community member will implement their own webhooks, it's not a good approach, right? So maybe we can just show them and tell a story about it, and maybe one more time decide what to do with it.
When's their meeting? Do you know?
I think that they have in each week they have. I can check it after a meeting, and maybe we can just together create some end-to-end demo and show them.
Okay.
And maybe what we did in the Kima project, because we have that automatic binding injection, that we just forked the pod preset to the Kima organization, and we created the controller over the pod preset really, with restarting of the application and so on. And yeah, it's just a matter where that pod preset will land. Maybe we'll need to make a decision by ourselves if we want to have it in the service catalog to somehow keep the functionality like it is in the Cloud Foundry, right? Let's see. Because it's a nice feature, right? Because at the end it will land in the application itself. But
so
yeah.
If we wanted to implement our mutating webhook server, what would that even look like? We would intercept what? The create binding request? Like, it seems like it'd be more of a pain in the ass to implement some mutating webhook.
The thing is, we need to know something about the application, right? As well. That it's it's also, I think, a bit more than Service Catalog has right now. And yeah, but maybe we should leave that discussion for the next meetings when we'll start the cleanup of that. Maybe it will be after the SIG architecture meeting already. Let's see.
Yeah, but we need to know that even in our platform, we are not using the pod preset only to the Service Catalog domain. We are just using that to inject the overall configuration to our deployments, right? So it's not scoped to Service Catalog. So I think that we need to somehow address that globally.
Okay.
Okay. That is unfortunate, but I guess it's what we have. Okay. Again, that's it for stuff on the agenda. Do we have anything else we want to talk about today? Okay, that looks like it's it for today then.
Okay, we didn't hear you.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to ask, Florian, are you still with us?
I'm still here.
Okay, have you already created that ticket about that timeout?
No, I have not.
Okay, then we can talk next time about that.
Yeah, it's a small one.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's it for today then. For the new guys, I don't think any of this stuff is really actionable yet. We haven't really built out the stories. But yeah, I suppose I probably should have done this sort of intro thing when you guys showed up anyways. Let me just stop the recording. This isn't really relevant.